I would say that the amount of praise that police and military men get overwhelms the amount of praise that like boss babes get on any day of the week. Yeah.
I think. I mean, did you forget about the George Floyd protests and defund the police and fuck the police?
Did you forget about Blue Lives Matter? There was an entire movement just to celebrate cops.
Yeah, and they were all called racist.
Like how many people? Because you guys were setting up a dichotomy, like who gets praised more, a plumber or a stripper? I think in that case, like maybe like a stripper or whatever. But if you put it up against like a military person or somebody who's in the armed forces, like a Navy officer, a cop. That's a working class person who in a blue collar job that would get more praise than a stripper.
So to piggyback off of what
you said with the police, I disagree because with the police, they hate the police, man.
You people want to abolish the police.
Yeah, like you got people running around saying fuck the police. I mean, this has been going on since the fucking late 80s with NWA and Dr. Dre and all these guys.
You also have a thin blue
They've been
line.
saying fuck the police. So no one's really respected law enforcement in general. And I can say that as a former law enforcement guy that they've never liked us, right? And then as far as like the military, yes, the military does get universal appraisal because of the sacrifice for it. But the reality is who's getting more notoriety? The women that are strong and independent, not necessarily the military guy.
But you have the thin blue line. You have like other signs.
But that's a small subset. The thin blue line is a very small.
Can you stop making the exception to the rule?
I don't know. I do not know of any flags praising strippers.
True. We literally people will salute.
What about the LGBT? They're all strippers.
People march for sex workers all the time.
Yeah,
literally even before sporting events, we will honor like soldiers and stuff like that. We say like the national anthem. People will like salute a soldier. Like nobody's doing this for
compared
strippers.
to George Floyd, the movement right after he beat up a pregnant woman and sold fentanyl? He had the biggest fucking movement. You're comparing that to the police? Are you crazy?
People were protesting police brutality. They weren't trying to celebrate George Floyd's personal achievements. They were saying the
national anthem is bigger to you?
Defund the police was extremely unpopular. Like when you look at like places that were trying to tout that slogan, they lost their elections by like quite a bit. So this idea that like defund the police, like that's what the majority of Americans feel like. No, like that's not true. The majority of Americans are not with that slogan.
The Blue Lives Matter slogan was very unpopular as well, though.
They push the leftist propaganda of fuck the police.
I agree on Twitter, but like MSNBC and CNN were also reporting how like this was like dangerous rhetoric.
Why is there a song called "Fuck the Police" but not "Fuck the Strippers"?
I mean, there's this song talking about how we should beat the fuck up of strippers.
No, there's not. It's girls as players too. Girls as players too.
Rappers, yo, the rappers are the ones that wipe the strippers. What do you mean?
No, earlier
you see
that's a lean.
Earlier, you guys were talking about how rap songs were talking about how like like they hate these strippers or these hoes or whatever, and how
we said hoes, not strippers. Well, you cannot use the word hoe and strippers synonymously. That's what you just did. That's what you just did. So let's separate it.
There's a shit ton of songs about how like strippers are like dumb hoes that they just want to like fuck and then leave. Like, let's not pretend that rap music doesn't.
No, they don't. Show me. Give me a rap lyric.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to search Google right now? Stripper rap lyrics.
No.
Like, no. Let's do it. Let's Google
but that's fair.
right now.
That's more praise. When do you ever see a woman talk about fucking a plumber once and then just leave it? You know, they just want to fuck the top guy.
When you talk about like how women are interested in men of authority in uniform, that tends to be like firemen, policemen, like men in the military. So like women are attracted to men in authority.
Blue collar is not.
I don't think a woman who is with a Navy officer is going to be ashamed that she's with like a Navy officer. I think she would brag about that.
You're so right. A firefighter gets as much as a YouTuber.
I said Navy officer.
Give me a break, bro.
That wasn't the argument.
I said Navy officer.
No, firefighters are still unseen, right? They deserve a lot more.
I think the argument here, ladies, is just simply that women that are independent, boss babes, etc., receive more, I would say, mass media positive coverage than someone who elects to become a plumber or a carpenter or one of these other jobs. That's basically the bottom line here.
Can we understand why behind that though? It's only because y'all know I'm not a feminist, so but I do have to give credit when credit's due. We've had to fight for our position in the workplace and blah blah. So when a woman does, it's like, oh my God, look at her, ooh, raise the roof. Opposed to a man doing it, again, it goes back to the conversation of giving accolades for a man to doing what he's already supposed to do.
Yeah,
women essentially are doing something that they're not supposed to do. So we give them raise the roof and accolades. But for men, it's like, okay, cool, like go be a little blue collar worker, do your thing, whatever. Take care of your family.
Yeah, that's because we treat women like children.
Yeah,
we applaud everything that they do.
Right. And I'm against that as well. So
we can fix every mess in society if we just tell women get the fuck out of the workforce.
I agree.
Really? You don't think problems happened in society before women were in the workforce?
No, it was a lot less.
We didn't have this level of society before women joined.
Yes, I would rather live in the 1950s before the sexual revolution than with USTDs. Yes, I'd rather live
in the 1950s with Jim Crow laws and segregation.
No. Look at me. Make it less racist, but still sexist. Do that. Right?
Yeah. So he didn't say that. We didn't. Let's not let Jim Crow creep up in here.
Right?
What we're talking about is women's rights right now. We're not talking about racism and Jim Crow.
Yeah. No, let's be honest. There's problems that existed before women were in the workforce, and they've existed for like a really long time.
Yeah, but what did you guys do?
I got a question for both of y'all. I was trying to wait to the end, but we kind of got here quicker. Why do y'all feel like women should be equals? That is my problem with feminists. Why do you want to be equal to a man?
It's resentment.
Why would I will let them answer. I will let them answer.
Good, because we have some. Who identifies as feminists on the panel?
These two.
Okay. Them two. You guys don't identify as feminists? No, I know you have some conservative views.
No,
very conservative.
No.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Is this two?
I literally
conservative.
Is that a conservative amount of cleavage?
Okay.
That wasn't a very conservative titty shape.
You guys can go ahead answer.
Okay, I don't think women and men are equal in everything. I think that there's some aspects of society that should be a little bit more fair. But that's basically it. Like, I just want those aspects in society where I'm like, hey, like we talked about the shoulds earlier. Hey, you know what? I think men and women should both be responsible for their children. That's what I believe in.
So you're not a whole feminist. You're like a cherry picker. You wanna pick what you want to be a feminist about. Because being a feminist means you want it to be equal. You want men and women. We want equals.
I want equals where it should be. That's where I'm at. I'm like the shoulds.
Yeah,
where
like
should
equity.
society go?
Yeah, but that's like doing equal. That's like sharing a group project with a retard, right? Like if you think about it, it's been thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and you women have still not produced one genius, one Plato, Socrates, Pythagoras.
Marie Curie.
Zero.
Moon.
It's been thousands of years. We don't want to do the group project anymore. All right, get out of our group.
All right, what about you?